Good evening, everyone. Welcome to INTOUCH, a masterclass on school products powered by Brainwonders in partnership with the Sports Gurukul. This fourth edition of Masterclass series will take you on a short journey of introducing you to 30 innovative school products selected from across India. In this masterclass, innovative products, informative content, and progressive ideas are being shared with you. We remain hopeful that this and forthcoming sessions will inspire you to take your school community to a new direction of development. My name is Namrata and I will be your moderator for today. I represent India's largest counseling organization, Brainwonders. With 108 global centers, Brainwonders has been revolutionizing the face of academic guidance, career development, and personal growth via its US patented DMIT and online psychometric tests. Founded by Mr. Manish Naidu, over the past decade, Brainwonders has been nationally awarded on 7 different platforms, including recognition for being the most trusted and digitally innovative career counseling company. Excellence and passion is what Brainwonders strives for, and with that, let's begin today's session. Before I welcome today's speaker, I request all our audience to immerse themselves in the session and hold their questions, which will be addressed right after the session. I present to you today's speaker, Mr. Shah, who is the director and co-founder of the Sports Gurukul. An IT marketing professional, passion and love for sports drove Jay to enter the field of sports in 2002, eventually leading to the founding of the Sports Gurukul, hereon known as TSG, one of India's first private grassroots sports firms. Jay, also a certified yoga teacher, which also forms the basis of coaches' training programs of TSG, believes that sports in the country does not suffer due to the lack of places or funds, only but essentially lack of ideas and initiative from the people. In the last 18 years, he has been working to promote sports, sporting communities, and infrastructure at the local level. His creative ways of creating sports spaces led him to create India's first full-size tennis court on a terrace of a building, which was a result of his beliefs of creating unique ideas for sports to work. This work was also published in the Hindustan Times for the unique creation. Under his leadership, TSG's Sport Ideas was selected among the top 40 business ideas across India at the Economic Times Power of Idea contest in 2010. This led him to being selected for a training program at IIM Ahmedabad, and the Sports Gurukul also received a grant from the Department of Science and Technology from the Government of India. Probably one of the only sporting companies during the time that certified the Sports Gurukul ideas as one of the ideas which would shape the future of India. He was recently inducted in the Karamveer Global Fellowship Hall of Fame with a Karamveer Chakra, bronze medal, in recognition of his many years of service in the field of sports. Mr. Jay Shah is dedicated to the cause of promoting sports and fitness in every child of India and continues working with the only aim to see every child as fit and active child for life. Over to you, Mr. Shah.
Thank you, Namrata. Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to a wonderful Sunday. Of course, I'm sure the subject is something not very new. You are all educationists, belong to schools in various capacity. Idea is today that I would like to take you through various things that's happening in the field of sports, how it is important. And some of you are already doing a lot of things for your school. But I would also give you certain practical ideas which will help you look at your schools a little differently. I think the term holistic has been used for a lot of time. And I think now across every boards, whether it's a CBSE, IB, everywhere, I think across even the government, I think the mandate is very clear. The space of academics and education is changing completely. And physical activity, fitness, sports, physical education are going to become terms which are going to be working hand in hand with academics. and they probably are going to be more important so in the times that we have been. I'm also hoping that all your family, friends, everybody has been safe from COVID. We all, as a country, of course, the entire world is going through this crisis, but we shall overcome, like we always say. So, without a further ado, thank you once again, InTouch, for this entire opportunity. Thank you, all of you, representing schools, education, for taking out time on this Sunday. I'm looking forward to make this an exciting learning for you in terms of how you could take some practical ideas and integrate in your schools. I'm just going to start sharing now. Right. So I'm here today to talk with you on importance of sports and PE as part of your school curriculum. And I think most of your schools already know that. You're receiving mandates. The new education policy talks about it. I have been part of grassroots, and when I say grassroots, more with working with schools for the last 18 years. And we've implemented some very good ideas which see fantastic results. And I'm going to take you through that today. Just a few things about us quickly. I mean, we're an all India company working with more than 150 schools practically across India. Our vision is that every maximum children stay a healthy and active lifestyle. We're looking forward that every child gets this gift of being healthy and fit using sports and physical activity. At the same time, we also have a division where we're helping children pursue excellence. And we're just hoping that by 2027, a lot of children pursue that. As a mission, we want to be India's largest multi-sports grassroots academy. And we would like to be a preferred partner for schools for PE and sports. We believe in not reinventing the wheel, and which is why we've got international partnerships in 5 countries, where football, basketball, swimming, we get the best of the world and deliver it to the school and at the academies in India. And that's the way we enhance the entire training program for the school, for the children, through our trained coaches who are certified internationally. Okay, so I was wondering on a Sunday, you might be thinking, what is it for me? I mean, is this right now the most important subject? Aren't there? The schools are not started. There are so many issues. We don't know when we're going to start. So I just probably thought that could be a question. And I think let me all promise you that at the end you will realize that all the issues and problems and everything that you do with your entire school, this is one subject. If you as a school are going to identify and attend to, I think you will see a fantastic overall change in the way you want to run your school. So yes, are you looking at lifelong fitness of your children? Are you seeing the rising obesity? Are you seeing the problems of temper in your children? Are we seeing a lot of disrespect growing today? Usually schools do tell us that discipline is always a huge issue. Of course, you as academicians, there is always pressure of delivering various kind of results. There is pressure of performance. There is pressure on academics. Of course, there is competition among schools. I mean, unfortunately, there is always good to have a healthy competition where everybody grows together. But yes, there is that too. There is this very new age issues that schools are going to be facing, and a lot of schools are facing. I mean, these new vices, smoking, drugs. How are we going to get children automatically to stay away? Parents' expectations, the COVID challenges, and the list goes on. So what we've realized is over the so many years that we've been working with schools is overall, I think children today, and more so in the urban scenarios, we do see the lifestyle choices that we have in front of us are making things very complicated, which is why we're saying probably more obesity, not very physically active, a lot of digital coming inside. So I thought, why not I share with you a latest report? And it's very interesting to quickly, while we understand what it is, but when we have data in front of us, I think it becomes a completely very different perspective to things. It probably shakes us. So here's giving you a summary of the physical activity for children and youth, which is a 2018 India report card that I'm just sharing with you. So when they tested, approximately only 25 children, 25% of the children, could accumulate we say MVPA is moderate to vigorous physical activity, which is a very poor sign. Active play, again, when they measured, I think the grades were not very interesting. I think while we read all this, I would quickly take you to the physical fitness. And I think today, when we talk about sports, we talk everything. We talk about, we have a population more than 60% under 35, of course, children also. Only 15% children met the recommended minimum fitness. And I think these figures are very alarming. And a lot of time, I think we do not realize, if we go to think it's our body, whether they're going to become doctors, engineers, get grades in 10, if the body is not in shape, forget anything. And which is why today the entire world, including the education system, is now recognizing the importance. And that's what would be my appeal to everyone here, that you need to start seeing this today, because school is the time where a child spends maximum time during his careers. So it's very important that we achieve that daily fitness requirement through school, so that there is nothing else whether he goes home, doesn't do it, and which is why these figures I thought would be interesting. The need, the benefits, again, I think a lot. I just thought just visiting that would be interesting, but health, maintain fitness levels, self-esteem, leadership skills, social skills, discipline. In fact, I'm very, 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 very happy to tell you that all studies worldwide have shown that if you increase more sports and physical activity, the performance has seldom gone down. It's always remained same. Most of the time, the performance of academics has gone up. So which is why I think this is, again, a very good formula that schools should start looking at. The more importance is given to this subject matter, I think ultimately it'll be better for the school. And I was very excited, and I'm just going to show you something that a school is already talking to its parents. And here is an image coming up on your right-hand side. I mean, the points I spoke about, they've taken a graphical image and to communicate to everyone at large. I think one of them, the school being the Asian school, and I was very excited to see that. I thought I should share this with you. And schools, now it's important that this kind of communication goes, because parents are also one of the biggest excitement for you, and interesting thing for you is that they really are understanding that this is more important today. So having this as part of your very important communication today is only beneficial to your overall holistic education, and you're really doing yourself and the children and the parents a real favor, because then you are becoming a 360-degree holistic school. I thought it's very important for you also to know some of the initiatives. So before I go, I share with you ideas of how you can make things interesting. What I want to already tell you is the entire ecosystem is working towards supporting your initiatives at school. There's already something called Payakka, which is a Panchayat Yuva Krida or Khel Abhiyan. I understand not many rural school representative today, most of the urban schools, but I think right at the Panchayat level, the government has started initiative for a grassroots culture. Khelo India, as we all know, I think it's the largest flagship, which is a huge gamut of things under it. And we hear Khelo India branding everywhere. They've got 7 fantastic schemes where right from, creating an ecosystem of just being physically fit and active to supporting talented sportsmen. And I think that's very interesting for schools, that their children can benefit. The Khelo India tournaments, I think they really are something which offers a platform to the talented children to go up right there and be seen at the India level. The Fit India movement, I think this itself is one of the greatest initiatives from the government to actually recognize and get everyone to be part of being fit and active as the most important thing. Sports will come later, but being fit and active. And although it is so simple a sentence, I think most of the time across, we're not able to see a planned initiative by majority of the schools, and which is why I think some of the ideas today would help you. Delhi has initiated the first sports school and university. CBSE affiliated school is being planned by the Delhi government. There are degrees coming up. So as we see, I just thought there's a huge mandate, and there's that one line which is where all of us need to focus. This is directly from the NE National Education Policy. The need to integrate sports in education is well recognized, and it serves the national education policies foster holistic development by promoting physical and psychological well-being while also enhancing cognitive abilities. So now, why we are talking this, why it's so very important, I think as a country, it's become the mandate. It's something that schools can no longer do away with. Uh, and whatever they are doing, and they can only go further up because that is the focus of the future of education today. If that's focused well, I think overall, all the other connecting dots or the issues that schools face would actually get in place. Of course, we already know CBSE has the curriculum already a K-12 guideline where more and more periods are being added. So I think rest of the boards the suit to follow. So I mean, while we know a lot of points here are repetitive, my point is this is the right time for everyone, all the academicians to start thinking. If your schools haven't yet, start exploring because there are a lot of options today overall, private, public, otherwise. Start planning. If your schools are doing a little bit, but there is no systematic, the amount of planning you do for your academics, trust me, the same kind of planning is required. And maybe you do it, maybe you outsource to a company, but I think it's easily doable and you'll see the results. And start implementing for lifelong fitness, holistic development of the entire school, and laying a stepping stone where gradual sporting achievements become part and parcel of your school. So coming down to the central theme why we all have gathered today. How do we integrate and ideas and solutions for sports and physical educations within the school curriculum? I thought it'll be interesting to start with this physical activity pyramid for children, where the whole idea over 12 months, of course, the schools work 7 to 8 months with the vacations. The idea, I mean, some of the schools start in April, some start in June, when the monsoons. The idea is how do you devise a curriculum which starts with moderate activity and it heightens the peak when it ends towards it. I mean, that's the whole idea in which schools can pick up this entire fantastically depicted physical activity pyramid, where frequency, intensity, time, and type, what you see on your left-hand side being fit. So how do you include the fit philosophy and create a complete wellness environment where physical activity and fitness become the way of life in your school? So there are 3 to 4 different ways in which we can do it. And let me talk about the central theme, which is in curriculum. So in school, in curriculum integration, which is the most important way to give maximum physical activity and exposure to a child. So if you heard of NASPE, which is the National Association for Sports and Physical Education USA, which directs the entire guideline, it says a child needs to do 60 minutes of physical activity every day, which is 5 days or 6 days. All the schools out there do that. I do understand. I've been working with schools. There are normally 2 periods or sometimes 3. 5 is a luxury. To begin with, I would recommend there are 5 periods, which is if you're a 5-day school, 5 periods. Even if you're 6 days, you can have 6 periods where you can have a combination of physical activity, sports exposure, yoga. I mean, that would become very interesting to begin with. 1 period daily, if not minimally 3. A lot of time, this confusion prevails because for us, sports, we only understand results. Today, I want to take away from the entire thing about sporting results. Although we've got more than 2,000 results at state and national level as a company for the hundreds of schools working with us. But let me tell you, that's a byproduct which will happen automatically. We need to put the first step right, and which is focusing on each child and not on individual sporting excellence. This is a very big, I would say, a lot of catastrophic error, if I were to say. Even the sports teachers in schools, they only focus on those who are very good. The school environment is meant for the 100% of the children. It's not meant for excellence. The weaker and the best. The science of pedagogy, your teachers need to learn so that they can deal with that 30, 40 children at a time very creatively. So this is very important. Either you create your own curriculum or you can outsource. Having a planned curriculum grade wise is very important. And I think a lot of CBSE and grade boards are also offering you a platform for where you can start planning. So that again is a very critical part that I would like to tell you that if you don't have one, your schools need to have structured lesson plans. We always talk about lesson plans in our academics, geography, how is the teacher performing, but we never ask our school class teachers, the PT teachers, the sports teachers, are they qualified to do this? If not, get them trained. We train even coaches. We also have a train the train. So wherever there is this opportunity, either they go out to get themselves trained, but they need to get into this kind of system. Excuse me. I think the Fit India assessments is coming down to most of the schools. They provide the guidelines. Start assessing your children twice at least and start monitoring them. You will be able to do the comparative. It's very important. The way we see the yearly report card, there has to be a report card for your children for fitness. And that is my next point. It's very easy. We need to track the entire sports and physical education through a report card. So start doing that. And if you're going to do that within school, that's going to be important. Appointing a coach or a teacher who is either trained or undergoes physical education pedagogy. Very, very important. Just purely PT teachers doing a BPEd will not help for you to achieve what you want to do with an in-school integration. Last but not the least, a lot of schools we have helped and we suggested create a document, create a mandate. What are the goals and roadmap? One is overall wholesome roadmap, and second, then there could be specific sports roadmap, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years horizon. Doing that will help you achieve the goals and make your in-school integration successful. After school, I mean, like we all know, what all could we do? We recommend starting clubs. Sports clubs are fantastic ways. Your coaches, maybe coaches otherwise, maybe calling various companies, choose your option. They're very, very interesting ways in today's times where you build the entire neighborhood. I mean, it'll be great advertising for your schools, that you're promoting sports and healthy culture. Set up modern sports infrastructures, either by yourself. In fact, for Mumbai schools, I just would like to say, we in fact invest in sports infrastructure within your school. So we do a due diligence, and if it falls in place in the lines of what we wanted, then we may help come and give you a complete sports infrastructure free of cost. Those can be discussed later, but you could take that initiative. Provide safe spaces. And I think there are a lot of ways in which you'll get support to get that. Running sports academies. Creating a sports community center. I think today's time, the most important thing for cities, metro cities, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, it's very important with very limited spaces. You can convert your schools into fantastic community centers. And you see how well it creates a great brand will for your school. It's very important that you start looking at these as options. I would just like to show you some of the images of our academy. These are infrastructure that we have created, an indoor multipurpose, a football turf, artificial. This is our academy in DPS Bhopal, where you can see there is a portable swimming pool. In fact, there are so many solutions to sports. So if once you decide, I think the options are limitless. So I just wanted to show some of these photographs in how we help support schools and how we change the way sports is done. So you get an idea, and your school could do it too. And let me tell you, it's just not about spaces, which was my first. I mean, when we started Sports Gurukul, we used the spaces available. So planning sports based on spaces, you may not be having a cricket ground, doesn't matter. A lot of indoor sports, a lot of physical fitness activities can be managed and done, which could be customized to the school's requirement. The next you could do is a sporting excellence roadmap. The way you have results in your 10th standard, I think you all know the efforts that your teachers, everyone put in terms of getting the children there. Sports is similar. It's not rocket science. Some of my ideas, if you really can, create a sports division. Don't, I mean, that is one of the best ways, because what really happens is you can utilize your in school periods better. Because if you have multiple levels, then you can only focus on fitness and skill learning. But if you, let's say, you've got 4 divisions, make one division a sports division who are all the best. And it's not something that it's a permanent seat. Every year, your teachers can conduct an assessment, and based on the report, how they deliver, put them in that division. Now, that way, you will be able to group them, their learning as per their levels. That will be one of the key reasons you'll be able to do well. Training your students as per sports levels automatically will happen. Create calendars. There are, if you are serious about sports, let me tell you your teams. And when I say teams, under 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, one of our schools, we created a legacy program. Automatically over 3 years, the under 8 children who entered under 12, under 14, they were practicing for so many years that school remained district champions for 10 years. So there are ways you need to do things right. So start young, create a roadmap. It's not a big thing, and your sports teachers or your partners can help you create a road to sporting excellence. Today, it's time for technology and digital. I know a lot of you have mobile apps, ERPs. The same thing is possible in sports. Start using them. You've got fantastic projectors. Start showing them sports videos, motivational videos. Start tracking the performance of your children. Send it to the parents. A lot of gadgets have started coming. Of course, this is for schools who are already very advanced in sports. Start using the digital, because the future is all about that. In fact, as a country, we have a lot of monsoon. The 3-4 months, the best way to get the children engaged, if they cannot have a training in a rainy day, is use videos, use these projectors, the digital classrooms, to actually expand the horizon for the child, and getting them excited to be more fit and active first. And if you're good at sports, help them go further. So how do we do this? Excuse me. We're very proud that something which has been a legacy of education, of schools, of great educations like you all, we've brought pedagogy in the field of sports and physical education. So we offer more than 150 hours of international training, which our head trainer is trained from USA, which is a key reason how to manage classes during the school program. It's not about just attending to the best children. It's about how do we take care of all the children of various abilities. That's the key learning that we train, and that is very important for the teachers. We use activity cards, circuits, display signs. We do a lot of class management techniques. How do you go about a quality demonstration? You will see some teachers make children stand in a line, wasting time. The 40 minutes that a child gets, it's probably the most important time of the week that you don't want it wasting. We do not waste time in disciplining. In fact, discipline comes automatically as part of our training. So these are some of the very unique ways in which we train coaches, and we create results out of that limited 3 periods, 4 periods, 2 periods. But there is this result-oriented programs, much better, that we help create in schools. Our entire offering to the school is right from an internationally certified curriculum, session plan, a trained coach. A BP and MP doesn't go, is probably not that. In fact, a lot of these BPEDs, and I'm not trying to say the training program is wrong or they're not doing right. Everybody, after doing 3 years BPED, undergoing our training for a month, they realize, sir, we've not learned this for 3 years. So I think while that training is already undergoing a lot of shift, our training is very important. We provide quality assessments. Every quarter, there is a visit by a quality head who actually monitors what's happening in the training. Otherwise, if a school ever comes back, we send somebody to monitor the quality and replace the trainer if he's not working right. At the end, they get an international certificate. So we offer this complete package so that the school doesn't have to worry. They can focus only on their education, while we help them offer a holistic 360 degree by taking care of the complete sports and physical education. So again, something on the same lines, this is the entire operation that we go about, which I just explained. I wouldn't take much time there. What we bring is a very, very important management. We've already adapted digital management and tracking. So you are able to actually, a school will have a dashboard. On one screen, you can know how many fit boys, how many fit girls, how many are absent, how many are present, how many are doing well, and using a very simple mobile app. We also offer this to the parents. So the parents know every week, excuse me, just going to take some water. So using a mobile app, we not only track the complete performance, the parent knows. If you want to engage a parent to be excited to be with you, it's important they know what's happening. So this entire thing is available, where once a school can decide what all needs to be given and can be customized. Their competitions, their upcoming tournaments, everything is so easily communicated through the app that we provide that the parent, school, and everyone is sync of what's happening with the child. So as a company, we have a 360-degree offering. We offer schools, any school looking for a sports solution, we have it. As a company, it's not the, I mean, we have a smallest solution which starts at probably 1 rupee a day. So it's as simple as that. What we've realized is that we want to be available as partners to the way the school requires. So these are the entire range of things that we offer, whether it's in school, after school, sports day planning, sports tours, setting up sports infrastructure. Everything is what we come under one roof, and which is what makes life for a school very easy. Um, Something that people have been talking about. We've been receiving an award nationally at the All India Education Award for the last 5 years consecutively for the curriculum for our program. We were also recognized by Hype Foundation UK as one of the top 50 companies in the world in 2017. These are some of our national and state level performers. I mean, the list is a long one. I just thought I do not want to actually try and tell you more about, because I fear, because I do not want to say that sports results is what happened. But what we stand for is creating a complete evolutionary program where the focus is every child. The sports result automatically is a byproduct. So I'd like to end this session to keep it crisp, where uh, you could ask me more, you could talk more. I have a 6-minute presentation coming up here. That's my email ID and my WhatsApp number. If there is anything that you want as a school, I think we have you covered. I would like to end this session with a fantastic video. It's just 6 minutes. It will show you an entire gamut of what we do, how do we go about, what some schools have to say about it. It'll give you a much larger perspective. And I'm sure you'll enjoy this audio video in this time. So thank you so much for this session. And I'm just going to start the video now.
Our world has changed rapidly in the children today are more connected and aware, busier and ambitious. They're dreaming more and achieving more. But as with everything, it all comes at a cost. How many children today do you see playing basketball, football, or other sports after school? How many children today are making smart, healthy, nutritional choices instead of processed junk food? Research shows that today, children on an average spend more than 7.5 hours in front of the television, computer, and mobile phones. They play more games on these devices than in the open. Only 25% of school children are engaged in outdoor activities. 90% of obese children in the country do not engage in any outdoor activity. 70% of obese children become obese adults. These statistics provide a glimpse of where our nation's health and fitness is heading. Is that a price we're willing to pay?
Need of the hour is to imbibe in our
Bearers of the flame we look to ignite, our qualified coaches are further trained on our L2F curriculum, pedagogy skills, and theory that is to be imparted to the higher grades before being deployed in any school.
My daughter is 7 years old and she has been attending sports Gurukul classes for the last 4 years. I think enrolling her in sports Gurukul did a lot of good to her for her confidence. She learned skills like how to interact with the team. Now she's a very good team player. She talks to everybody. And also I feel that sport has taught her one very important lesson for life. You know, they'll be losing and winning.
With the in-school program acting as a talent spotting opportunity, we also focus on enhancing specific sporting skills of the students through after-school sports academies in partnership with schools. Additionally, TSG provides a platform for school children to showcase their sports skills through its multi-sports competition, the Inter-School Premier League or ISPL, which involves more than 150 schools and 4,000 participants. In addition to human kinetics, we also bring with us our other international partnerships and the Australasian Academy of Tennis Coaches or AATC, where children are introduced to global standards of sports.
As co-author of the Human Kinetics Fitness for Life program, I'm excited to partner with the Sports Gurukul to bring quality, comprehensive K-12 physical education in the form of lifelong fitness. This program is exciting because it helps children lead active and healthy lifestyles.
We have noticed is a difference in the attitude of our children towards this PE program. It has brought in a whole lot of discipline, more of focus and dedication towards fitness of their own self and fitness of the others. It has brought them an awareness how to use their body in the right manner and how to focus and channelize their energies in the right direction. So I would say a whole lot of credit goes to Sports Gurukul and the kind of coaches which they have provided us with, be it football, cricket, basketball and the otherwise PE program. All the coaches of Sports Gurukul have been very, very dedicated, diligent, very careful when it comes to the children being safe. At the same time, a whole lot of learning has happened and we're very happy with the way it is going on as of now. So I would say that Sports Gurukul has really held our hand and is getting us forward as far as in exercises and sports is concerned.
With the L2F program focusing on holistic development, we hope to ensure that healthy children grow to be successful, healthy adults. At the Sports Gurukul, we groom not just champions on the field, but champions in life.
Right. So here's hoping given you a nice perspective of things, what we do for schools, how do we engage with schools, and what some of them feel about us. So just with a few final lines for the day, what I would like to urge, or my idea was that we show you some of these things are available. I think this would be a recorded thing. You could do your own self-assessment and start somewhere. If not, use a platform, use someone, some partner, some coach who can probably and make a start. Because here in the sports and physical education lies the secret of all the solutions and all the challenges that the schools are facing. Also, as a country, this is the future. Sports, physical activity, physical education is going to be the prime thing that parents are also now looking forward to. So starting to implement, integrating this strategy today, at least start thinking of it today, is going to help you go a long way. While schools are still going to take a while, in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 months, I think schools are opening. Here's hoping that we're able to have a well-planned social distancing involved a strategy where schools can start. I think the children have been completely, if I can use the word, harmed in this situation because they cannot understand why they cannot get out of their houses. They're dying to get to their schools. I'm sure the teachers are dying to get them back. So while we all look forward that the COVID times are probably just around the corner, it'll probably go and schools start off, I think this is a fantastic time that you all start planning and look forward to a holistic education where physical activity and sports is part, or rather, I would say, one of the pillars of your schools. Thank you so much for this opportunity today. And while Namrata would take over, I'm happy to answer all kind of questions that you have.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing everything today. And actually, I think it is a high time that we realize that physical activity is something that is not a choice. It is not something that can be optional. I mean, your body cannot be optional. So it is important that we take care of it, and with the right mindset and determination and using the strategies that you are suggesting, I think it's very easy to apply oneself, enjoy the process, and inculcate that into children, most importantly. With that, we will move forward to today's Q&A session. We actually have a lot of questions lined up for you already. And to the audience, I'd like to reinstate, you can use the chat box, you can use the activities section, and you can, of course, you can raise your hand as well. There's an option to raise your hand at the bottom of your screen. You can use any one of these three options, and we'll be happy to take on your questions and present it to sir. So, sir, firstly, we do have a lot of overwhelming feedback, which says that yes, it is definitely something that it is an initiative that needs to be celebrated, that needs to be acknowledged, that needs to be implemented. Most importantly, in a lot of levels, because there's a lot of talent that a lot of kids have. There's a lot of expectations and hopes that even we would have from, let's say, the future generation. We would expect them to be active, we would expect them to be energetic, and if we are not giving them that platform, then I think we are the ones who are wrong and not the kids.
Absolutely.
So
Firstly, before the
yes,
question, thank you. I mean, going through the comments, I'm very, very glad that I think all of us are on the same page or wavelength, if I can say. So thank you. Your appreciation means a lot. And yes, please, Namrata, I'm happy to start off with questions.
so Dr. Yogita Sarwal is asking, it's more like she would like to know what's your take, or what's your suggestion on this. So there should be a provision of taking PE class and writing lesson plan for the same during the teaching internship too. What is your take?
Fantastic. If there is someone who can do it, but like I said, we have a train the trainer division. So given that already there are challenges with the academic training, we are very happy and glad if some schools get together. We're happy to train their 15-20 teachers, give them a feedback, give them a platform, monitor them. So the whole idea and the mission with which we are operating is, while we have a complete model where a coach also is given, but we do not, we are very happy that the existing coach is integrated. So if schools take up their initiative, like they send their teachers for training, we're happy to receive them, train them on pedagogy, so that they who already used to working with the school can start delivering better. And we are happy monitoring the performance as an outsider and giving reports to the school. So I think it's very important. It's a very Dr. Yogita Sarwal, I think it's a perfect question you asked, and that was probably part of my presentation, that you need to ask your teacher whether he or she is certified in pedagogy. Just the BPEd or MPEd is probably just making them job ready. But if they undergo this correct scientific training of how to manage in that classroom, the challenge is the classroom. We can talk about everything, but the point is the available time is the classroom. So maximizing activity and getting success during that time is the key, and which is what a geography teacher, a history, or a maths teacher does. Why not a physical education or a sports teacher?
Thank you, sir. I think that was very well answered. Do we have more questions? I would like to remind the audience that you can use the activity section, as well as you can raise your hand as well in case you want to present your question. I do agree, Dr. Yogita Sarwal, the healthy generation is an asset.
I was just going to one of the comments.
Yes.
Hardeep Saini, yes, motivating parents. In fact, we have sessions where it's like we say, all the stakeholders. So sports or physical activity is not about just the child or the teacher. The entire ecosystem needs to come together, and parents are one of the most important part of the ecosystem. So we do a lot of training of our coaches, as well as go and take sessions before we start the season with the parents, because parents are all with left, right, and center, all kind of expectations. Because when we say sports, somehow we get very, pardon my usage of it, but we get crazy. When we talk about only excellence, we forget that sports is probably there at the last end of the most important part is being physically fit and active. And not everybody is going to be sportsmen. Some of them will probably go for sporting careers. Some of them will become audiences. The entire ecosystem belongs to all of us. So not, I mean, you only have 11 players playing cricket, but doesn't mean that 1 billion fans are not there. So I mean, what really happens is what we've seen over so many years is that children who take up sports regularly, they don't fall sick. They don't earn money to give it to the hospitals and doctors and to the gyms. They love to be active. In fact, at our football turfs in Santa Cruz, adults from 8 o'clock up to 12 midnight, because they're working the entire day. This is this new wave that everybody wants to play some sports every day. And I think it's very interesting because only when the adults, parents, everyone is part of it or they demonstrate, I think learning by example, that's going to become very, very interesting. So yes, parents is very important.
Yes, sir. I also agree on what you said, that sports does not have to be a career choice, but it has to be a lifestyle choice. It has to be inculcated in a way of living, not necessarily that everybody, I mean, a lot of us like to, enjoy a good meal, doesn't mean all of us are chefs. But
Absolutely,
to
absolutely,
appreciate that and imbibe that quality in us, it is something that needs to be taken care of.
absolutely.
So,
In fact, why?
Digavani,
Yeah, you have a
sorry, sir, you were
question?
saying?
No, I was just saying, I just wanted to, while questions are coming, an interesting point of that, why we got this curriculum. So this international PE curriculum that we are doing is from USA. We are the world's only company which is allowed to provide this in schools. But this scientific curriculum is so well created and structured that it ensures that the kind of, right, we talk about life skills, but here life skills are so much of an integrate. Everything that we aspect out of the sports and physical education is so well woven in the system that overall the benefits come in. And this program is based upon this very popular saying where we say, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him fishing, you feed him for life. With no bias to vegetarian, non-vegetarian, and just apologies in case I'm a vegetarian myself. But the point simply being, our program is so well structured that from taking assessments up to the grade 6, in the 8, 9, 10th, we actually hand over this self-assessment to the children. So after they leave the 10th standard, it is the assessment is not a scientific thing. We're training them so well that for lifetime they can do their self-assessment and track themselves. And I think that is very, very important thing to give as a gift to the children, that once I know that I don't need to go to a pathology lab, there are 6 different tests, I can just get my test done, and once I know it, I can enter that into the app and I can track my fitness. So we empower the children over that 10 years in such a way that from probably being a receiver, they become someone who's, I mean, just receiving food, they probably learn how to cook their food and move ahead. So that's how, again, the apart from the pedagogy, the platform on which the entire program is based. Yes.
Absolutely, sir. So there's a lot of appreciation also for your mobile app initiative, because it has a lot of instantaneous updates and everything, all in one place. And Dr. Yogita Sarwal is again asking that if you can provide the same to colleges, because I think 2 to 3 months. Yeah, I agree with her. I mean, I would resonate with my own college experience, where I think the beginning, the whole transition phase of, from a school to college, and then, the beginning, all the confusion, all the academics could be quite overwhelming. And I think sports could be a very, very nice way to channelize all that energy and all that, tension, frustration. And of course, it's a great way of making friends and building a support system as well.
Absolutely. Dr. Sarwal, colleges, yes, it was always there on our minds, but we realized what really happened by the time they're in college. You see, we are all very highly opinionated. So to change an opinion and getting them to understand, of course, those who are interested, we support them. But which is why being in the school segment where you create, it's something like this. We do not need to be taught that we need to brush twice in a day or have a bath daily. It's become a regime, it's become a routine. And essentially why we want to do this with schools is over this 10 years, it so much becomes part and parcel. It's not something that a child feels that he or she has to do as an activity. It is an extension of him or herself. It is something which is way of life. and which is only possible when we are in a school, and which is why this whole idea is.
Literally getting down to the basics then, I guess. So I think like you said that that the football ground is actually teaming up with a lot of adults as well. I think it is very important that we teach our younger generation to not trace back their passions later in life, but actually start it from the school and then maintain it till the time that they can maintain it. I think that is very, very important.
Absolutely.
So, participants, we'll be taking one final question and then I think we are good to close off the session. Sir has been very kind to share his contact details with us as well. I think it will be great if one can reach him. Some of you had certain queries also regarding enrollment and participation in terms of your own students or your own children. So I think this would be a great way to connect and take it up with him directly. All right. So yes, I think physical education provides a lot of qualities which is something that you would value in yourself or any other human being, that you will say, for example, teamwork, tolerance, like Dr. Yogita Sarwal is saying, patience, coping, determination, strategization, planning. And I think that is exactly why, Mr. Shah, what you're doing is absolutely wonderful and most importantly necessary.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Rao.
Yeah. That's very nice to hear, about the sports that you have been campaigning in the country. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir.
But having said that, in the Indian context, the situation is, of course, you have got few schools which have got sprawling grounds where kids really love to run and play. But in cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, such places, even in two-tier towns, most of the schools do not have grounds or sporting facility, though they have, an inclination, but they're not able to provide any space or limited spaces. This is constraint number one. In that case, do you have got any creative solution for such schools which do not have a proper grounds? This is number one. And number two, I think as national education policy is around the corner, why don't you think of academics through sports? Academics through sports. Till now, sports is taken as a separate discipline. Now it can no longer be a separate discipline. It has got to be integrated with academics like culture, arts, sports, and other things. So can you throw some light on these 2 points?
Sure, Mr. Rao. So, Mr. Rao, essentially the physical education program, the lifelong fitness which I shared, is essentially meant for every school, and ground is not a requirement over there. So the first step, we've got every school covered, where you have a structured scientific way in building the sport skills and your physical skills, because if they are right, then only a child will be able to do whatever he or she wants to do. We also have solution where there are a lot of indoor activity. Now, for example, of course, if there is zero space, which I don't think the case, but using activities like for the mind being chess, using martial arts, which is a very gymnastics, yoga, these are fantastic. And the physical education program, the PE program has a lot of sports-based skills which can be done in a closed environment. It doesn't need a ground. So overall, that program offers a great opportunity for a child's overall wholesome growth. But of course, if a child or the school needs to do more sports, then maybe we need to tie up with grounds in the vicinity and maybe take up a weekend club kind of thing. But essentially, the program that we have has a lot of customization based on the space availability. So space is not a constraint. A lot of activities can be done. But of course, if you ask me, can we do a cricket, football? Yeah, of course, we can't do that. But a great sport, a great physical activity is surely possible. And the physical education program that we provide is actually meant for schools, where that is the most important thing before sports. So that's the answer to your question number one. Answer to your question number two. So if you saw an initiative by the Delhi government, so they're already setting up a sports school with a CBSE curriculum. So a lot of these things have started. Our idea and mission has been partnering with schools, whether it's for a smallest possible to the largest associations. So one of the schools that I showed you was a huge academy we are doing in DPS Bhopal, Ahmedabad. But we also have smaller programs. So our idea is that if we have to create large scale impact, we need to work with schools across the country, and that is the only way to make the reach faster. The impact has been there. We are tracking the physical fitness of the children who are undergoing the program, and we are seeing they're improvising in their physical fitness gradually. So yes, setting up a sports school which actually automatically does a open schooling or integrates something is very easy, and a lot of state governments and people or even private institutions are doing that. And Dr. Yogita Sarwal has also brought about collaboration with NIS Patiala. So what happens is, ma'am, we do not have any direct collaboration with them, but at some point we are going to be now doing a reverse engineering, if we can say, where we are going to work with all these BPAs and Masters of Physical Education, where we tell them that there is this add-on program that you can sign up with us and your children can do it. That way the program of yours, the current BPA and MPA, can actually scale larger heights, and that way we are creating a larger ecosystem of highly trained pedagogical teachers in the sports and physical education. I hope
Thank
Mr.
you
Rao,
so much.
Yeah, thanks, Amrita. Thank you, Mr. Rao. You need to
Thank you
unmute
so much.
yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Jai, will catch up sometime. Right?
Sure, Mr. Rao. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shah, for answering all those questions and for sharing your work with us. I think it was very much needed for all of us today. Given the fact that a lot of us have been pushed indoors, I think the value of physical health and education can never be undermined, even more so in these desperate times. Thank you for being present with us today and honoring us with the session. And thank you, lovely participants, for being such an active and engaging crowd. We'll meet again tomorrow evening.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. Look forward. Have a great week ahead.